This one is to celebrate my 8 years on YouTube. Well, it's probably been around 5 because I've taken that many breaks from YouTube, and this whole pandemic thing has just made me want to record videos, get back into doing it, give me something to do as well as watching, like so many things in Disney Plus pop culture. Hence why I'm wearing a Dr. Teeth Electric Mayhem t-shirt, because I really like the Muppets one. And yeah, I got this for like £4 ages ago from Qwerty, and I just really like it. And you can never have too many Muppets things, so yeah, I thought I try to wear a different t-shirt. Don't know if you've noticed, but that's one of the things I've tried to do with this, is try to wear a different t-shirt every video I do. So it's going to come to a point where I'm going to have to wear the same t-shirt. So yeah. So yeah, I asked on like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, just if anyone had any questions that they wanted to ask, to then send them to me. Some of these I've thought a little bit about, and then some of them I've just read and just were like, well, I should be easy enough to answer. So thank you to everyone who has sent me questions. The likes of Simon has sent me a couple of questions. I think he sent me like 4 or 5 of them, so thank you for that, Simon. I hope your move went well. And yeah, so there's been other people who have sent in questions that have, were friends with me on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I'd also like to thank everyone for the support on watching the videos, comments, likes, etc., sharing as well. Fair enough, I don't get the thousands of views that a lot of people get, but I enjoy creating the content for you guys and then seeing you comment on it. So there will be certain people in here that will get a special shout out, so to speak. So the first question is from Sean Thomas, who does a great podcast called Not So Southern Gentleman with Ricky. So yeah, if you're into your retro kind of stuff, go and give him a listen. He asks, if you could cast a modern Masters of the Universe movie, who would be your top picks for the main roles? Now, obviously Masters of the Universe has so many characters, it's really hard to pick, for everyone. So what I was going to do is just pick He-Man, Skeletor, and Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms, immediately whenever I think of Man-at-Arms, I think if Tom Selleck was to be casted, that would be perfect, because he's, he's older now, he's a lot wiser, like obviously we know him from the likes of Magnum P.I., Blue Bloods, Friends, etc. So I think he would be perfect as that. With the likes of Skeletor, I don't know how he would be. Would he be like a Frank Langella kind of, prosthetics, or whether he'd be more like a CGI kind of character. I think with the new cartoon that's coming out, having Mark Hamill as the voice act him is just outstanding. So I think if you were to put him in it, would be great. I can't really think of anyone who has a, like that kind of evil maniacal laugh that would be as good as that. So I don't know. With the likes of He-Man, obviously you want to have Prince Adam very different to what He-Man looks like. So I was thinking, why don't you cast the Hemsworth brothers? Cast Liam Hemsworth, but get him to scale down a bit as Adam, and then get He-Man to be Chris Hemsworth, because then they look very similar, but kind of look very different at the same point. You know what I mean? If you look at pictures of them, you'll see what I mean. Anyway, so that's who I would pick anyway. And obviously the likes of Thor, like he's good with putting things up in the air and stuff. So thank you for that, Sean. Adam Pickering asked me the same kind of question, but to do with the Thundercats movie. So again, that's an even tougher one. Straight off the bat, I thought that with Panther you would cast Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as him. With the likes of, say, Lion-O, you want somebody kind of youngish. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know why, but I was thinking, what about Daniel Radcliffe as Lion-O? Because he's somebody that's kind of not overly old, but kind of, like a lot of people would remember him from Harry Potter, etc. So I was picking him as Lion-O, and then Cheetara, I thought Gal Gadot as Cheetara. She's very slender, and I think she would be great as that, with the likes of, the mutants and stuff. Again, that's really hard to pick, especially with the likes of Mum-Ra. Who do you cast as like a mummy, and especially the big massive mummy? So Um, I honestly don't know. I just picked like those three, and those were the ones that kind of came to the forefront of my mind. So Marianne Moore on Facebook asked, what was my favourite Disney movie as a child, including live action ones? Um, well, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I have like the fondest memories of watching with my sister and my dad. So that would be the one that I would say would probably be my favourite one, because I remember going down and renting that out and stuff. I remember the first one that I saw maybe in like, not like a cinema, but in like a, oh, it's kind of like a leisure centre, but they had like a projection of it, which was Sword in the Stone. But I think with the likes of, say, Who Framed Roger Rabbit would be my favourite one as a child. If it had to be like the other Disney ones, you know, like to say, Little Mermaid, that kind of thing, it would probably be, well, The Lion King came out whenever I was maybe what, 10, when did that come out? Well, I was kind of in my teens whenever that came out, so it's really hard to choose one from that kind of era. I know my sister really liked The Little Mermaid around then, and then my niece really liked The Lion King. For me, it's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint what my one would have been, to be honest with you. So I know Hugh from Roger Rabbit, I had like the fond memories of getting that. And says, she also asks, what game brings the happiest memories for you? There's so many of them, you know, the likes of the Mass Effect series. I would talk to Marianne about, because she would come into my work at times. So I talked to her about that. Obviously, the first three, not Mass Effect Andromeda, because nobody needs to play that. If you want to just bore yourself and play that, sure. But there's other games to play. The likes of Resident Evil 2. I remember whenever that was first being released, and I showed a couple of people in my old work what that looked like, and you know, that was around 1996 or something like that, and it was like, you know, state-of-the-art graphics, and you look at them now and you're like, whoa, and you look at the remake of that. So, but I think the one that brings back the most memories for me would be the Mario games. Obviously, Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo was the first game I completed. Super Mario 3, I remember my sister going to go out shopping with my mum. I didn't go, and she got to play a demo of that in the shop, which really, was in 1991, because I actually still have it in my diary. I have a diary still from 1991, and I actually put that in my diary and said that I was mad. So that brings back, you know, we still joke about that. And Super Mario World was probably the only game that my mother actually ever played, and still has ever played. With the likes of Mario Kart and stuff, she'll watch, or new Super Mario Brothers she'll watch, but she'll not actually play. So Super Mario World will probably be the biggest one, because I think my sister got that instead of me for Christmas. She got a Super Nintendo, whereas I got something else. I can't remember what it was. And I remember us playing that and just, you know, having a lot of fun with that. So that would probably be the one who bring back the happiest memories. So thank you for that. An old Chronicles, Master Universe Chronicles buddy, Rob Bass, asked, will you ever post your old Master Universe Chronicles episodes to YouTube? I have tried to do this. This is, you know, like there's a question that comes up later on, which I'll get onto in a minute, but this is all you'll ever get from me. I'm not one of these fancy people who can do all this editing stuff and all this kind of thing. It's sit down, one take, that's it. Put an intro and an outro to it. That's about the height of it with my podcasts. I was a little bit more flashier with that. Like Rob has always said to me that I was the person that got him into podcasting. He's appeared on so many of them. And he's always a funny guy to talk to, and somebody that whenever I went to New York in 2013, I met up with him and his lovely family, so that was always really nice to actually sit down and spend a bit of time with him, Crystal, and his daughter Rebecca, and always have fond memories of that. And he's always been somebody who's stuck by me, and just a really, really good friend. So I will try to do it again just for you, Rob. They are all available on the Operation Retro Shock podcast stream. There's just, if you're looking for any interviews or anything to do with people who work with He-Man, there's something there, so we can check that out. My niece Sophie asks me who is my favourite character from Zootopia. That is a difficult one, Sophie, but I would have to say Judy Hopps. I just love her enthusiasm for everything, how she always seems the good in people. What is that on my shirt? Well, it's nothing. Um, she always sees the good in people. She also wants to help people. She doesn't take no for an answer. And for somebody so small, she is big in heart. So I would say that Judy would be. I'm Chantel Victoria on YouTube. If they have YouTube channels, I'll pop them in the description below. She just hit 1,000 subscribers at the time I'm recording this a couple of days ago. So major congratulations to you, Chantel. You deserve that. And she says, if you could be in any Disney park right now, what one would be and why? Well, I have not been, apart from Disneyland Paris, I haven't been to any of the American ones, and I would love to go to the Florida one. I always get the two of them mixed up in America. But I would love to go to the one that has the Galaxy's Edge, because obviously I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I would love to go to the likes of Batuu and see the Millennium Falcon. Obviously, my friend Simon had been, and he's recorded vlogs to do with that, which I really enjoyed watching, and it really made me want to go. But it's just something that you kind of look at and you're just like, oof, that's, you know, and plus the fact that the heat, no. I mean, it's sunny outside and I stay inside because I just burn in the sun. So, yeah, no thanks for that. So, thank you for that, Chantel. And again, congrats on reaching 1,000 plus subscribers. Cheris Thomas asked, what your favourite pin that you own out of your whole collection? So, obviously, I put up a pin video to do with my Disney pin collection. I actually have it here, so I will show you my favorite pin, which will be, it's a tie between two of them. So I do have this Tarzan 20th anniversary one, which my girlfriend Karen got me, which I really, really like. But I would probably say that this one here, that flips over, oh baby, would be my favorite one. I just love The Emperor's New Groove. It's my favorite film, then Tarzan, obviously. So that would be my favorite pin in it. So thank you. My good friend Hannah, who is my Animal Crossing buddy, and we spend a lot of time sending each other stuff, and she has been a huge supporter of this channel since it's come back, and I really appreciate it, Hannah. So thank you always for leaving a comment down below and just interacting with me that way, and yeah, being an Animal Crossing buddy as well. It's always been fun. She asks, if I could meet one celebrity I've not met, who would it be? Well, obviously I've met David Tennant, and he's been the one that I've wanted to meet, so it's a twofer really. I would love to meet Kiefer Sutherland. I have his autograph, but I would love to meet him because 24 is one of my favourite TV shows of all time. I just remember every Sunday just saying to my parents, going like, right, 24 is on, don't be disturbing me, because I always knew there was going to be so many twists and turns that if I missed something, it would not do me good down the line whenever something else happened. And seriously, especially with everything going down, if you're looking for something just to binge, and it's one of those ones that you'll say to yourself, just one episode, and one episode turns into about 4, and it's just tremendous. I just love it. So it would be Kiefer Sutherland. I would also love to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've met my favourite Hulk Hogan, but I've always pictured having 2 photos with Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you know Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know the gesture. I don't want to do this in case my video gets flagged, but let's just say it involves a finger. That's the middle one. So I always pictured one with just me and him smiling, and one with me smiling and him with his finger here and doing that to me, facing me like he was getting ready to give me a stun or whatever. So that would be that. I also had one from a fella on Instagram, Darbro, who asked the same kind of question, but he says, who would be one celebrity from the past and one currently that you would have loved to meet at a Comic-Con? So obviously Kiefer Sutherland. I would have loved to have met Stan Lee. Obviously he appeared at the London Film Comic-Con before I started going. But I remember hearing the queue for that was just insane. That actually went outside the building, and it was just a complete and utter nightmare. And that's whenever they started doing the Diamond Pass things and things like that. So Stan Lee would have been one that I would have loved to have met. Obviously, I would love to meet somebody to do with He-Man, the likes of John Owen, who is basically like a recluse now. He doesn't really do any conventions, whereas Alan Oppenheimer, who did the voice of Skeletor back in the day, does conventions, and he would be one that I would love to meet. I like the voice actors. I just love to meet, because I love hearing them do the voice, you know, unfortunately, whenever Heroes and Villains happened, James Arnold Taylor I was here and he was way over here, and I didn't have the time to go and meet him because I had so many photos on that day. But he would have been somebody that I would have loved to have met. But my good friend Dave did give me his autograph. So thank you for that, Hannah and Darbo as well. And then Drew, who has a YouTube channel. He's not as active now, called Nerds Like You. His Instagram page, though, you need to follow. Again, if you're a fan of retro games and things like that, near enough every day he posts a photo of like a retro game. And again, he's been great at supporting the channel, supporting me, being a good friend to me, and just interacted with me on Animal Crossing again. Hopefully by the time this comes out, I will have a blog out to do with it. If I do, I'll pop it in the comments down below. It's a lot easier to type about it rather than it is to talk about it, because I'm able to put pictures and stuff into it as well. Again, because I'm not that great at editing stuff, I'm putting pictures in. It'll be like, and here's a picture, and then it'll be a blank picture, and then BB, and I just prefer doing it this way. And it's the same with my podcast. It was always one take and then that's it. So he asked, what's my favorite video game ever? And again, I would probably say that at the minute, Animal Crossing has probably been the game that I've played the most. I've probably put since this came out late March, I've probably plowed about 130 odd hours plus into this, just by playing it every day, because there's so much stuff to do every day. You have to interact with your villagers, dig up fossils, see if there's anyone at your campsite, go and craft stuff, give presents to people. There's been, like, I've never used a thing called Discord before, but there's so many good groups out there that are very welcoming, and they can trade stuff with you. Like a guy actually came to my town to sell turnips. It's basically like playing the stock market, and left like 3 bell bags worth of 99,000 bells each, which was just ridiculous and wasn't something I asked for. But yeah, so my favorite video game ever would be Super Mario World. That was the whole reason why whenever I first upgraded my 3DS to 3DS XL, they did a Nintendo Direct, and they said that the Super Nintendo stuff is coming out onto the 3DS XL new. Luckily, I was able to change it over and then play that, portably. Obviously, I have it on the Switch now. I had the mini SNES, had the Super Nintendo back in the day whenever I was playing it. And it's just one that I completed, but I found every single secret level, and it's the only game that I've ever phoned at the time was like the Nintendo helpline, because there was one key that was way up here, and I kept flying up to it, and I couldn't get to it. And I was like, I can't get to it no matter. There's a P block, and whenever you hit that, you'll get coins. So put it right up, and then hit the block. Once the time runs out, they turn into blocks, and then run up. And then that's how I was able to do it. So to this day, there's still a lot of things, the likes of school and everything is just woof. But I can remember like the majority of the secret levels. If it had like red, it has 2 levels. It has or 1 plus. And if it has yellow, then it's just 1. So yes, that would be that. His son Raiden, obviously he's named after a character from Metal Gear Solid 2, which I just think is phenomenal, and he's such an awesome little guy as well. So his son Raiden asked me what's my favorite thing about my Animal Crossing island. Everyone seems to like the wallpaper whenever they come into my house. The amount of people who've come in the house and went, wow, I really love the wallpaper. I can't even remember how I got it, but I would probably say that at the minute it's my campsite. I spent a lot of time and effort doing up the campsite, and I'm really happy with how it looks, and I've just tried to change things around. Obviously you've seen the amount of hours that some people put into it, and changing whole things to do with their island. I'm not that creative, but I've done little things, like had like a little sewer lid and then 4 turtles around it, like to represent the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I thought would be fun. So yes, so thank you both for your questions. I hope that answers your question, Raiden. Glenn from back to the 80s. Again, this is somebody who I've known for years. Been on his podcast a couple of times. He's always a joy to talk to. Has his own YouTube channel, reviewing things retro, to do with annuals and stuff lately, Funko Pops, and huge Transformers Master Universe fan. He says, what's the biggest change that you've made with what and how you review or show and tell? To be honest with you, I don't think I've changed much since 8 years ago. I've got less hair probably and wore glasses, but the majority of the things have still been the same. It's still been just me sitting down doing this here and just talking to you. That's probably the biggest thing. Probably has been that my confidence is growing on it. That even if I go it doesn't bother me, because this is how I talk in real life. It's not a case of if I go I'm going to edit it out, or do or try and record it again and say, right, don't say that, or try to think of things off the cuff. I'd rather talk about something and then just see what flows, rather than writing things down, go like, and then I show you this, and this is really nice, don't you like this, like I do. It just doesn't come across well. But yeah, I would say that I've grown in confidence and I'm able to just speak off the fly about things, and I think podcasting has certainly helped me with that. Whenever I look back on my older videos, like my first, I've talked about wrestling stuff, I've talked about comics, I've talked about Funko Pops, talked about Star Wars, talked about Disney, and it's just a case now that I'm just going to talk about things that are just important to me, with the likes of, say, obviously whenever we're confined to home, there's only so much you can do. That's why I was showing my DVD collection. Coming up next is going to be my autograph collection, after these, and then there's going to be a bookshelf tour as well, and then that's the whole of month of May, talk off the cuff, yeah, right, covered. So I think the biggest thing as well is that at the moment I'm planning ahead my videos. I've written down ideas for videos and then tick them off as I've done them. So yeah, so Glenn's very knowledgeable about certain things, pretty much everything. So if you're a fan of those kind of things, again, his link will be in the description box below. So thank you very much, Glenn, for your question. We have my good friend Rory, who would have seen me talk about whenever I showed you the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles party van that has all the discs in it. Now, I have no idea the answer to this, so Rory, you're going to have to tell me. And he asked me, do you know the connection between Randy Macho Man Savage and the first series of Bottom with Rick Mail and Adrian Edmondson? The only thing I can think of is if there's an episode title called like Macho or something like that, which I'm pretty sure there won't be. But yeah, I would say I have no idea, so you're going to have to tell me what it is. Right, so my wonderful girlfriend Karen has asked me to name the top 3 videos you've done. I've done a hell of a lot of videos, and some videos I look back on really fondly, and some videos I look back on and just go, I'm really not happy with that. I would say that I really, really loved doing the videos like after I'd been to WrestleMania. Like obviously I've done like vlogs. I'm not really a vloggy kind of person. Whenever I went to Disneyland Paris, obviously with Karen, I was meant to do vlogs. I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. I didn't feel comfortable walking around, and I wanted to enjoy myself rather than have a camera with me. Obviously certain people, the likes of Helena Martin, Chantel, Simon, they all will vlog things, and that's great. It's just not me. I've done like a couple of things with my WrestleMania vlogs. I did like a kind of like a comic shop one as well. But I think the videos that I really enjoyed doing the most was coming back after conventions or WrestleMania and telling you my stories. So I would say that definitely the LFCC 2018, whenever I talked about David Tennant, meeting him, would be one of them. The Star Wars one, I really enjoyed doing that one. Doing the vlog for there, that was the only convention I ever vlogged. But even looking at it, the camera is like really a close up in my face, and the amount of times I bloody asked what time is it. But Karen watched that video the other day and she thought it was hilarious. So I'd say that one, that and the talk after that. And I would probably say the WrestleMania 29 one. Yeah, I think I had 30 was good, but I think I had more of an experience at 29 because I met Hogan and stuff for the first time. That was my first WrestleMania experience. So I would say that they would probably be the 3 videos that I enjoyed doing the most. Obviously, there's other ones that I've enjoyed, like the Honky Tonk Man interview that I did on Wrestle Shock, a podcast that I did. It's probably my most viewed one. And then there was one to do with a wrestling house show whenever they came to Belfast that I videoed as well, which again did really well. But yeah, show my collections and stuff. I could go on, but I would say those 3 would be the ones that I enjoyed doing the most. So thank you, honey, for your question. So Simon says you can keep 3. He asks a load of questions. Simon has been somebody I've known for fast approaching 5 years now, and I feel like I've known him probably all my life, to be honest with you. He's just somebody who, it was just a chance meeting, and then we met at LFCC 2015. He actually stayed in the room wherever I was staying with another guy, and thank God he was there. Simon knows the story, I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, he's just a guy with a really big heart, a great YouTube channel, and being embraced by the BookTube community, and it's just great to see him talking about books so eloquently and talking about it with such passion as well. And that's one thing that gravitates me towards his channel, is because just to hear him talk about things that I may not know of, or I may not be interested in, but hearing him talk about it makes you interested in it. And I'll always thank Simon for the support in this channel, and also in my personal life, very much like with Karen, you know, like obviously she's a huge part of my life now, and it's one of those things that it seems to be the Comic Cons then that, you know, had been what brought Karen and me together, and Simon and me together as friends. So I'm hugely indebted to conventions for that. So he says you can only keep 3 items in your room. What are they? My Nintendo Switch, my TV, and me. I would probably say that's a tough one, because I have to pick between my David Tennant 10 by signed photo, or I have to do my Star Wars one. I'll take both of them. I'll probably go for my... Oh, that's a tough one. I'll go for my David Tennant one, because I had a better experience on the David Tennant one than I had in the Star Wars one. The Star Wars one, I had 1 good experience out of 4. So I'll go for my David Tennant signed 10 by or A3. Assemble a team of 5 Star Wars characters. Who you picking? Jeez, right. So you pick Han Solo. I'd pick Bail Organa. He's my favourite underrated character. I'd pick Ewan McGregor's portrayal of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'd pick R2-D2, because I'll probably need a droid. And I'll pick Poe Dameron as well. That's my 5. Oh, no females in there. Sorry. If I had to pick a female, I'll pick Rey. So, who's your favourite comic book artist? Can you show anything by them? This was a tough one. Back in the day, I was a huge fan of Scotty Young, who did like a lot of covers for comics, and did like a couple of comic series. But it came to the point now that if you were going to collect his comics, you were having to shell out so much money. So I'm going to show this one, which was done by Freddie E. Williams II, who did like this. He did like the Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and a couple of other series as well. So this is the convention one that I've got graded, which is like a foil kind of one. So that would answer that. Undertaker versus Sting, yeah or nay? It should have been done way back when. So it should have been whenever Sting first signed, he should have fought the Undertaker around and fighting Triple H, in my opinion. I think it's one of those things that with the likes of that Boneyard match and how well that was received, I think Jerry Lawler said that if they were to do Undertaker versus Sting, it should be done that way, which I kind of agree with. So hopefully the fans get to see what they want to see, but at the end of the day, they have to be careful, because they're not both in their prime anymore. Undertaker, you know, like he's had a good run and stuff, but I think he needs to really call it a day. even in one of the things to do with WrestleMania, he said that he doesn't want to become a he doesn't want to kind of outstay his welcome, in essence, is what he says. You know, he doesn't want to kind of embarrass himself. And I think a couple of WrestleManias he did that, and in the Goldberg match as well, but he kind of redeemed himself this year's WrestleMania. So I'd say yay, but only if the fans kind of wanted it. Bring back that like Cyber Sunday thing and make people vote what they wanted. And lastly, Simon asked, what made you connect with He-Man so strongly? I think it was probably the vibrant colours. The animation was just really good. The voice acting as well was just tremendous. And the toys were probably the biggest thing for me, because like I've said before, like the majority of all the He-Man toys have like a unique action figure where they do something differently, you know. So the likes of, say, Many Faces, for example, is called that because he has many faces. Well, he doesn't have many faces, he has 3 of them, but you get the point. I'm not going to sit you up there because you'll probably fall. And there's so many of them. And then with He-Man being a big part of my childhood, was a huge part of my, well, I would say adulthood, but it doesn't sound right. My big part of my life now, you know, like whenever I did the podcasting, I met so many brilliant people to do with He-Man, you know, like either people who worked on it. I had garnered friendships to do with that, and a lot of people still are in touch asking how things are and stuff, or I'll get in touch with them. You know, so I've made so many great friendships to do with that. So many people still talk to me about He-Man, you know, and all this kind of thing. You know, whenever Kevin Smith announced the Master Universe Revelations for Netflix, you know, the amount of messages I got to do with that, the amount of messages that you see whenever you hear a rumour to do with the film, and it's like, until I see a trailer for a film, I will not believe that a film is being made. That is what I will always say. So, so yeah, I would say that just the integrity of He-Man, just the fact that people thought it was violent, but it was anything but, you know. So, yeah, and the toys were a huge part for me. And then obviously now, you know, being able to go back and watch either of them, so either the 2002 show or the Filmation show. Yeah, but the toys were just a huge thing for me, and my mother gave them away, so thanks, Mum. But yeah, so that concludes all the questions. So if you took the time and effort to send me a question, thank you so much. If you have liked any of my videos that I've done, if you commented, if you subscribed, I think at the time of recording this, I think I'm about 23 away from 700. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, leave me a like, leave me a comment as well. Like I said before, the next videos that are coming out, so on Monday then, will be my autograph collection. So we'll do 8x10s, comic books, and wrestling stuff. And then after that is a book tour, and that's the whole of the whole month of May, all done. So yeah, this has gone on a bit longer than I thought it would be. I seem to be one of these people who will ask a question, be asked a question, ramble on for a bit, and then finally get to the answer. Or I'll start the answer, ramble, finish with the answer. That's the way I seem to do it. So yeah, I will not keep you any longer. Thank you very much for the support on YouTube. It'd be great to get to 700 subscribers, 700 plus. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, follow me on social media. Things will be after this. And until next time, hopefully not in another 8 years. Whew. Could I even have less hair? Bye.
Now me oh oh.